Houston type of biggest mistake we ever made.
The Martin Houston Show with national championship winning fullback Martin Houston, giving you 1 hour of intense, hard-hitting analysis from an insider's perspective. It's time for the Martin Houston Show on your home for Alabama sports, Tide 100.9, and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Good morning. Welcome into the Martin Houston Show with Martin and Xavier. X is still out on assignment, going to be that way for at least a couple more days, but filling in his chair is Tony Christian. We're live, local, and ready to get things rolling right here on your home for Alabama Sports Tide 100.9 and 1230 a.m. It is the Martin Houston Show with Martin and Xavier, powered by Box Eye Care. Check them out at boxeyecare.com. They got that large new inventory of frames, one of the largest selections in and around this region. They also have an in-house lab that you can get in and out in most cases in 1 hour. So check them out. Tell them that Martin Houston told you to stop by. We have a great show lined up for you, but before we get into that, want to remind you that this is a day that the Lord has made, so let's rejoice and be glad in it. Take some time today to notice someone, love someone, serve someone, be the difference you want to see in the world today. Be a difference maker. The playbook for today is kind of a potpourri of different topics that we can get to. Of course, we've been talking about this. We haven't gotten into it, but what do you think is going to be the difference in the Alabama offense and the Alabama defense? And a new player that joined the team had some thoughts on what one element that we'll see in the offensive line, and we'll let TC share that thought with you. That's one element that will be different. But this player also talked about people need to recognize just how big a deal it is with what Kalen DeBoer is doing here on the Crimson Tide in terms of this culture. We've talked about that all week long, and ironically, at the end of the week, we have players coming out confirming that there's something special cooking over at Alabama. What's going to be the difference in terms of the defense? Will we see more of the same? What do you want to see different? How frustrated were you at times watching Vanderbilt and watching Oklahoma and going in at halftime and expecting to see things change and not? Are you still frustrated with that? We'll talk about it as well. We're also going to hit there's a new I'm not sure if there's going to be a power struggle or not. I think it depends on the coach and the staff in the university. I know at a place like Alabama, then it's not going to become that way, meaning the coach and the general manager. If you don't follow football, you know at the NFL level, the coach wants the players he wants to fit his roster. The general manager has his style of players, and sometimes there's a clash. And guys like Nick Saban were technically in the college game. They were the GM and the coach, and they wanted that same level of power at the pro level. Well, guys like Belichick had it there, but now the college coach has to share some of that responsibility. Will there be a power struggle? Will there be places? Think about this. Will there be places, or has it already happened, where a general manager has more power than the coach? And they determine personnel, and they determine the coach versus the athletic director, which I don't think in some cases is bad. So it's going to be interesting to watch that development. We'll talk about that as well. And then, of course, X is out, so the recruiting is going to be limited. We'll let Pat in here in just a second. We'll see if TC Tony Christian has any updates in terms of recruiting. And I do have a little basketball update there as well. Once again, this is the Martin Houston Show with Martin and Xavier, and we're live, local, and ready to get things going. And you can get in on the Empowerment Strategy and Solutions Hotline by calling 205-342-9904, 205-342-9904. That's the Empowerment Strategy and Solutions Hotline. Pat, you're in with Martin and TC. What's on your mind?
Hey, good morning. I just want to see what y'all know about a kid out of Alabama A&M, Devlin Gully. He is out of Saraland, Alabama, was a defensive back. And it appears Alabama might have, I could be all wet, but it appears Alabama might have one more spot. Oh, am I all wet?
Pat, I could not tell you if there is any recruiting on. I told you that's X gig, and I don't really follow recruiting except for what you and Xavier are able to keep me up on. But I can check into it. What's the kid's name?
Devlin Gully, or Delvon Gully. He's out of Alabama. He's supposed to have visited Alabama in the last week.
And you said he played at Alabama A&M?
Yes.
Okay.
Defensive back, 6'1". He's big guy, 6'1", about 190.
We're gonna be a defensive back team if we're not careful. I don't know if we need. I don't know. Do we need more defensive backs, Pat?
Yeah, I think we seem to be in pretty good shape, but undoubtedly coaches think different.
Yeah, that's possible. But I will check and see, and Chase, if you and we'll check and see if we can find out any information during the break, Pat. Yeah. So just stay tuned.
You got another guy coming on to help you today, don't you? Tony something?
No, that's not a guy. That's Tony Christian is not a guy.
Tony could be a girl or a boy. I guess. Funny names.
Yeah, Tony Christian. Okay. Yeah, well, everybody watching the live stream knows that Tony Christian is not a girl, and we use the proper pronoun. She is a she.
You too funny, Martin. You too funny.
Yeah. All right, but she is going to. She does have an update. You said there's a young man that Alabama's interested in, Tony Christian, that may be making a commitment. Go ahead.
There's a receiver, Cedric Morgan. He's from Alex City, and they're looking to see if he's going to come like in June. He's been here 7 times, so we're hoping that he will come here.
Yeah, I mean and that's going to be a position really based on what happens. If Jeremy Bernard goes and Isaiah Horton goes, and all of a sudden Alabama is going to be in need for some replacement. And then they're only, for a fact, they're only going to be one season removed from losing Ryan Williams. So at least 3 of their top receivers could be out of there in the next 2 seasons. So definitely a guy in terms of his possibilities of heading out. And tell Pat, I'm gonna try to figure out a little bit about the
Devlin.
Devlin.
Gully. All right.
Gully. Yeah. All right. Thank you, sir. All right. Hey, just a quick note on Alabama's top 3 or 3 signees from the basketball front. 4-star Landon Jemison, his final ranking as a power forward. He was the number 6 power forward, number 38 player overall, and he was the number 1 prospect from the state of Connecticut. He's weighing in at 6'8", 200 pounds. Coach said that Jamison, that he brings a combination of great size and basketball IQ, is elite. So he possessed one of the best shot charts we've seen which means that TC. What that means is he can knock down a three and he can dunk. No, I'm just kidding. Alabama doesn't take a whole lot of mid-range shots, so that really does mean that this young man has a decent three and can get it done around the rim. The next one, 4-star Davion Hannah from Branson, Missouri. He was a number 11 shooting guard overall. He was a number 61 overall player, number 4 prospect in the state of Missouri. Once again, he's hitting what we said Nate Oates needs to do from the guard position. He's coming in at 6'5", still a little light, but not necessarily for a freshman, but 6'5", 175. And Nate Oates had to say about him, he possesses elite athleticism that is showcased in the open court, has great size, giving him the chance to play multiple positions. And this is a really neat aspect of who he is. 6'10" wingspan, even though he stands only 6'5". He fits the mold of how Alabama's trying to play, just like the other guys that were brought in. And the last one is Amari Allen out of Green Bay, Wisconsin, number 15 strong forward, number 63 overall player, number 2 prospect in the state of Wisconsin. Once again, he's standing 6'7", little smaller than the other forward we got. The power forward only 180, and Coach Oates said he's an elite wing, has the ability to play multiple positions due to his size, which means that he probably can drop down if he needs to and play the guard position, especially from a defensive side of the ball, high skill level. And over the summer, he proved to be an efficient scorer this past summer, not this summer, shooting 50% from the field, 40% from three-point range, and 80% from the free throw line. A great fit for Alabama's style of play. As we get ready to get the break here, that's 3 guys all in the top 65 players in the country. Alabama getting 3 of those guys. And when you take that in conjunction with Holloway, Wrightsell, Mallett, Sherrill, Williamson, transfer in, Bowen from Florida State, Bethea from Miami, and Bristow from Tarleton. Alabama may have enough to do a little damage in the upcoming season. It'll be all about chemistry, fit, and execution. But Alabama definitely got bigger in the offseason with the addition of the freshmen and the recruits. Will they be able to translate that to being better on the field, on the court, I should say? We'll talk about it. You can talk about it. You can call us at 205-342-9904. That's the Empowerment Strategy and Solutions Hotline. Come back on the other side. We'll look at the offense in Alabama. We'll look at the general manager position, start that conversation, and you can get in on it. Also, post your thoughts, comments, and reactions in the chat. We'll be back on the other side.
Tide 100.9 traffic.
Tuscaloosa traffic now from the Townsend Nissan Traffic Center. A very good morning to you. And Thursday morning's not starting out in a bad way. We're looking good on Lurleen Wallace, traveling both up and down. That's east and or north and southbound, that is, between 15th Street and McFarland. Also 359, not doing too shabby at all at Skyland Boulevard. As you see a little bitty delay inside the construction zone, that's 2059 eastbound between Joe Melisham and 359. With your Tuscaloosa traffic now, Tammy Thomas.
This report is sponsored by True Green.
Townsend Nissan on Skyland Boulevard has all tariff-free new Nissans in stock and ready to be discounted for immediate sales. You've got to shop Townsend Nissan for huge savings right now. Townsend Nissan Tuscaloosa.
Summer is better with True Green. Get the best lawn at the best price. For a limited time, get 75% off your first treatment. Don't wait. Sign up at truegreen.com today and let the pros handle the work while you enjoy the results. Restrictions apply.
365, 24/7. You'll find road and utility crews, tow trucks, law enforcement, and first responders working along Alabama's roadway.
We're making improvements and helping our communities stay connected.
We're working hard to make sure you're safe on the road. Now we need your help to make sure we're safe too.
Alabama's move over law requires you to move over a lane when you see flashing lights on the roadside. And if you can't safely move over, please slow down.
Visit DriveSafeAlabama.org, brought to you by the Alabama Department of Transportation, Alabama Broadcasters Association, and this station.
Find mom's best gift at Target. Now through Mother's Day, get up to 40% off gifts for her. Discover trendy apparel and swimwear that'll elevate any wardrobe. Jewelry that'll make her smile shine brighter, and even chocolate that'll turn any moment into something sweeter. There are endless options to choose from to show her she's the best. Hurry! Save 20 to 40% on select apparel, jewelry, chocolates, and more this Mother's Day only at Target. Restrictions apply.
The Venue Tuscaloosa Food Hall and Event Space. They've got live music every week that'll have you on your feet and dancing the night away. Feeling hungry? Their food hall has you covered with everything from big breakfast to amazing lunch options, a chili bar and grill, and ice cream to satisfy your sweet cravings. Planning an event, whether it's a birthday, corporate event, wedding, or something totally unique, their versatile spaces could be customized to make your gathering unforgettable. The Venue Tuscaloosa Food Hall and Event Space, located at 6052 Watermelon Road, Northport.
Hey, I'm Martin Houston, and I want to tell you about exciting news happening at Box Eye Care. They moved to their new location, bringing you a brand new lab, stylish new frames, and a fresh look just for you. Enjoy their expanded frame inventory, competitive prices, and faster service, all with the same great level of service you've come to know and trust. Discover this full-service eye care at Box Eye Care's new location. With their in-house lab, they offer unbeatable value and one of the largest frame collections in town. Schedule your eye exam today and walk out with new glasses in less than an hour in most cases. Visit boxeyecare.com. That's boxeyecare.com, or call 205-342-0660. That's 205-342-0660. Visit them at 5003 Oscar Baxter Drive. That's Box Eye Care. Your vision, our priority.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
A mixture of clouds and sunshine today, but chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms this afternoon and early tonight. The high today 83, tonight's low 61. Tomorrow, cloudy with occasional rain. During the day, the high 78. I'm James Spann on the ABC 3340 Weather Center on Tide 100.9. It's 62 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
The sound of Bama Sports. Your show, your team. The Martin Houston Show on your home for Alabama sports. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Welcome back into the Martin Houston Show with Martin and Xavier on this Thursday. X is out, but we have Tony Christian in the seat joining us. And remember, we're powered by Box Eye Care. Go ahead and tell you that tomorrow will be a free-for-all Friday powered by TJ's Pharmacy and Wellness. TJ's Pharmacy and Wellness, formerly known as the pharmacy at Midtown, 303 Hargrove Road is their new location. You can check them out, go see them right there. And listen, you need a local pharmacist. I know it's convenient sometimes to get the stuff online, but if there's a problem, if there's a shortage, if there's something missing or lacking, then you need to have a person that knows it and not just you and some computer working through any potential problems. And that's what TJ's Pharmacy and Wellness will do for you. TJ and his team would love for you to stop by and see them today, 303 Hargrove Road. Well, let's get back into the conversation. Tony Christian, we were talking a little bit about what Alabama basketball did in recruiting. Well, in football, they also had just another stellar year in terms of the recruiting class they got, and then they had a great transfer additions, and one of those transfer additions speaking up recently, sharing why he chose the Alabama Crimson Tide on the Bama Standard podcast. He shared a little bit talking about Cam Dewberry, a big offensive lineman, 6'4", based on where you look, 330, 345. He said he's 330, but he's bragging and talking a lot about his body and how it's changing. And he was one of the guys that the article keeps saying that he's in his final year of eligibility. He may or may not be because he was not redshirted. Alabama will have the option to redshirt him. He is in his fourth season. He's played all three, did not take a redshirt. So he still has that as an option. I'm not sure whether he gets on the field or not, but he seems to like the Tide. And we're trying to take two questions. He addresses why he came here, but he also addresses what he thinks may be a difference in this football team coming up in 2025. What are your thoughts on Mr. Cam Dewberry?
I like all the pressure and publicity he's bringing. Do you remember what Tyler Booker said, like, to the Cowboys after he was like, I want to make them hate football? That kind of is what he's given. Like, he's given like he wants to dig people in the dirt. I read something. He was like, after I hit them, I know they have a headache, and then they know I'm coming back. So I feel like he's going to be a threat, and you want opponents scared to get on the field. So I love that.
Yeah, when Nick Saban first came, he said he wanted to make people want to quit. He wanted them to fear Alabama. And that was the case for a long time, and not so much in recent years. And this is not to be ugly. This is not to blame a certain player. But when we went to the Tua Tagovailoa style of play, Alabama's defense became more like the Big 12 defenses. We were not intimidating people. We were not as physically dominating. I think Clemson may have broke the glass ceiling of fearing Alabama, and then from that, other people started to see, oh, they're not that big physical behemoth that they used to be. But the offensive line, in my opinion, has been one of those areas that Alabama really needs to work on, and we're going to get to that in just a moment. But I want to circle back on the Cam Dewberry scenario. He talked extensively about people not giving DeBoer enough credit. And in some ways, he was really dogging Alabama's roster without dogging Alabama roster. He was saying that people don't understand just how good a job DeBoer did to win 9 games with that roster he had last year. I'm like, that's a little dig there. But he talked about the culture, TC, and how much it mattered to him when he was choosing where he decided he wanted to play, and said Alabama had all the right tools. He talked about the weight room. Anything else from what he had to say that kind of jumped out at you in terms of why Alabama fans should be excited about what DeBoer is cooking up in Tuscaloosa?
He said he believes in what DeBoer is doing, and I think that speaks volume as a transfer because he's coming in. He has no idea. And if you got guys from other schools believing what you're doing in like a year or two, and he's saying that no one left, he was like, why do you think nobody left? Because we believe in the process and we believe in what he's doing. So he's clearly doing something, is getting people to stay and also getting people to step up. Like, there's been leaders like on social media platforms, on just talking to reporters, like guys like German Bernard saying the same thing, and they're all back to back. And I feel like when a team's all together like that, they're going to be unstoppable. So I'm excited to see what they're going to do this year.
Yeah, without a doubt, it is definitely important to have a buy-in. I do a leadership lesson called the threefold cord, and I'm not sure that Kalen DeBoer had that completely last year. And it's 3 things. Number one is you have to get buy-in, not buy-in to what you're trying to do. You have to get them to buy into who you are as a person, as a leader. And I think that's what this staff spent all last year doing. And then number two is you have to get them to trust you. You know, even though players may go out and do what you're telling them to do, they may still be a little hesitant because they've done it a different way. And now you're saying we can win in this way as well and be just as successful. So they have to trust you when you make a call, when you make an adjustment, when you substitute. I mean, all of the nuances of the game and the sport. For instance, you being a part of the cheerleader staff there at Alabama. When you have to be the person on the top, you have to buy in when that pyramid is going on. The person on the bottom is the foundation, and the people every level it goes up, there's more and more buy-in that has to go all the way back down to the foundation, not just to the person below you, but it has to filter all the way through, and whoever's at the top, they have to have a greater level of trust than the person at the bottom. And then there's connection. It helps that you feel a part of it as well, TC. And so you can see that I think DeBoer is doing that without a doubt in terms of what's happening on the football field at Alabama. We're going to go ahead and get ready to get the break here, but coming back on the other side, we're going to talk a little bit about what does it mean in terms of this buy-in. Yeah, that's great. We're talking all this, it's buy-in, and that's kind of kumbaya until we see results. What is that buy-in going to lead to? Is it going to lead to a certain type of identity for Alabama football? Is it going to lead to better offense, better defense, more physicality, et cetera? And we'll talk about what do you think the biggest differences will be for the Alabama Crimson Tide in 2025 as a football team. You can get in on it. Call us 205-342-9904 or post your comments, your reactions. What do you think the biggest change will be for Alabama's offense? That's where we'll start on the other side.
Tide 100.9 traffic.
Tuscaloosa traffic now from the Townsend Nissan Traffic Center. A very good morning to you. And Thursday morning's not starting out in a bad way. We're looking good on Lurleen Wallace, traveling both up and down. That's east and or north and southbound, that is, between 15th Street and McFarland. Also 359, not doing too shabby at all at Skyland Boulevard. As you see a little bitty delay inside the construction zone, that's 2059 eastbound between Joe Melisham and 359. With your Tuscaloosa traffic now, Tammy Thomas.
Are you ready to treat your taste buds and save big? It's time to seize the deal. Your ultimate hookup for unbeatable half-price deals on your favorite local restaurants. That's right, mouth-watering meals like the best Mexican food, delicious pizzas, irresistible wings, incredible barbecue, and so much more, all for half the price. Whether it's date night, family dinner, or just because, Seize the Deal lets you eat big without breaking the bank. These deals won't last forever. Visit seizethedeal.com/cities/Tuscaloosa.
Got timberland in West Alabama or East Mississippi? North River Timber Company has you covered. Since 2011, Courtney White, a registered forester, along with his expert team, have been managing timberland and harvesting timber across 4 West Alabama counties. They offer comprehensive timber management plans, reforestation services, and appraisals. Courtney White says timber is like money in the bank. Don't let your investment go unrealized. Call North River Timber Company today. Email them at northrivertimberco@gmail.com or call 205-242-5127.
You're listening to Taylor Electrical Radio.
Outlets sparking, lights are blowing. Don't do it yourself or you'll be glowing. Call Taylor Electric. We do it all. Taylor Electric. Give the boss man a call.
Call or text your local electrician, 205-553-0958.
Taylor Electric, we are here for you.
Taco Casa, quality, taste, and value under the biggest cactus in town. They've been doing it the right way each and every day for 50 years and counting. If you're looking for a great option for lunch and or dinner, then you need to check out Taco Casa. Taco Casa, and while you're there, don't forget to get a big glass of that sweet tea. Visit them online at tacocasa.com. That's tacocasa.com. Quality, taste, and value on the biggest cactus in town. That's Taco Casa, tacocasa.com.
Are you annoyingly inattentive? Do you watch a movie and then ask a zillion questions because you weren't paying attention? Do people ask, how do you can help anyone sleep? The Mattress Firm's Memorial Day sale. Get a king bed for a queen price and save up to $700. Plus, get a free adjustable base with select Sealy mattresses. Get matched at Mattress Firm. Sleep at night. Restrictions apply.
It's the all-day breakfast and burgers from Rama Jammas, or the quality food that you can get at Finish Pub. Great atmosphere, great time, great people, great environment. That's The Venue. You can find them online at thevenuetuscaloosa.com, located off of Watermelon Road, just past Sokol Park. That's The Venue, Tuscaloosa's new favorite hangout. Make it yours.
Interact with the Martin Houston Show by calling us at 205-342-9904 or tuning into the Martin Houston Show on Facebook.
Welcome back into the Martin Houston Show with Martin and Xavier. We have Tony Christian sitting in today. She joins us every Thursday, helping bring some different insight and perspective. Now, Tony Christian, the word is that you're working on something out there to help us. We were just talking about Cam Dewberry and what why he chose the Alabama Crimson Tide. Word is out there that you want to help bring some added coverage to the big hog mollies in the interior of the line of scrimmage, and so we're going to be working on that a little bit. Hadn't got all the details out, but tell our listening audience a little bit about what you're going to be working on.
I'm going to be working on just covering the O-line. I feel like they don't get a lot of coverage, and guys like Tyler Booker went before the quarterback who everybody wants to talk to in the draft. So I think O-line needs some more love.
Yeah. So she's going to be talking to us about in the trenches with the emphasis on O-line. We'll occasionally throw in some D-line conversation there, but the unsung heroes of football is always the O-line, more so than any position. And I can relate to that because when I played fullback, I used to say that I was an offensive lineman that got to run the ball. So, because my job was to block and protect the quarterback and open up a hole for all of the other guys that were going to get to run the ball or protect Jay when he was going to pass the ball. Also, just give Pat had asked about Devon Gully, freshman defensive back from Alabama A&M, who entered the portal in April. He said that he did visit Alabama in late April. Said there's some mutual interest there, but Alabama, they haven't made an offer or anything like that yet, from what I could find. But said that he has great potential in terms of his playmaking ability and ability to come in and contribute, not necessarily right off the bat, but to get into the playmaking when Alabama has some exits in the coming years. And he's an in-state kid with some college experience, so he may be a guy that Alabama looks to go to either right now or keep some interest if he ends up back at A&M. Also, we were talking about the offense and big hog mollies. and what's going to be the change? What's going to be the change in terms of the football team in what you see visually at Alabama? And I think you have to start off with, first of all, regarding identity. What's going to be the identity for this team? Last year, Alabama had an explosive quarterback, both explosive from his legs and explosive, and he was one of the best deep ball throwers in the game. And so Alabama, a lot of times they refer to as feast or famine. There was a lot of times where I think there was one game where we had about 5 touchdowns and we scored 4 of them on like the first or second play of the drive. And then we had, in that same game, we had like 3 or 4 3-and-outs where literally we didn't get a first down. So the first word that I would use, Attorney Christian, is consistency. Alabama's ability to maintain drives is going to be a huge difference. Any comments on that?
I definitely think we're going to need consistency. I think their drive of not having consistency in the last years and losing is going to make them have consistency. They want to prove a point.
Yeah, and I would agree with that. They've struggled big time in recent years, just like I said, because it's almost been this feast or famine. Now, don't get me wrong. If you watch Washington play against opponents when the combination of Grubb and DeBoer were together, they did have a lot of big plays. So I'm not saying that Alabama's going away from big plays, but I think with the addition of Grubb, there's a couple things that you need to look at. Last year, to me, we were a very, very, very much a quarterback-centric scheme, meaning that virtually every aspect of the game went through Milroe. And the offense was built around his, explosive runs, deep shots, play action, and his ability to escape through the pocket, which is not a bad thing. That's just what we were. But sometimes when you have that type of athlete, it causes you to not fully utilize, your running game. It forces it. You sometimes underutilize your wide receivers and the other players in the offense. And I think that's going to be first and foremost when you look at the total yardage for this team. That's going to be disseminated out. More passing yards for the quarterback, I think, but that's going to mean that there's going to be a huge shift in utilizing more players. And of course, TC, a couple of those new players being Isaiah Horton stepping in. I think he has a bigger role. One of the shockers, I don't know if you saw it or not, but Todd McShay made the statement and put out a way, way, way too early draft prediction. He had Jeremy Bernard as the number 12 overall draft pick. I hope, if that's correct, Alabama is going to be unstoppable on offense. But go ahead. Were you about to say something?
No, I was agreeing. I think he'll be up there. I don't know about number 12, but I think he'll be up there.
Yeah, Jeremy Bernard has a really big chance. If he takes a big step, if you think about that, if just that change alone, if you have Ryan Williams is not going away. Ryan Williams is going to I don't think he's going to suffer from the sophomore slump that you see so many guys suffer from based on what I've heard about his work ethic. I think he's going to be right in there. He's not living off of what he did as a freshman. He's wanting to get better. So you're going to have him improve. If Jeremy Bernard plays well enough from last year to this year to be a first-round draft pick, period. If he was the 32nd guy in the first round, from what he did last year to this year, what a drastic improvement. And I think Isaiah Horton may be the key to this whole offense making a change, because he is going to absolutely change how you have to play Alabama defensively, because you can't double up on Ryan anymore. You're going to have to play man to man when those three guys are out there. And then I think the other part will be the utilization of the running backs. Here's Virgil Williams had this to say. He said, I believe if Ty is the starter, it bodes well for the O-line, in that I believe you will have the RPOs allowing the O-line to tee off in the run block and also get better set in pass protection. And I agree. I think that the RPO game kind of went away. I like the RPO game when it's used correctly and effectively, and I think that Grubb will do that. If you go back and watch the Washington Huskies, their running back was a physical running back, getting well over 1,000 yards. And the other part I think that we're not talking about in the RPO is if you have teams trying to stop the pass game, then there's just going to be more run opportunities. He's saying they won't have the RPO game. I don't think they have the read option game. And let me quickly explain what I mean by the RPO versus read option and see if this is what Virgil really meant. The RPO game is where the quarterback's either handing it to the running back or throwing it to the wide receiver. So what it does is in the RPO run pass option, it gives the quarterback the ability to come up, look at the defense, and see, okay, they have two high safety, meaning two safeties back deep. They have two corners, and then they only have four linemen, three linebackers. So we have a matchup where it's 7 in the box, right? And we have 7 guys to block them. Boom, I'm going to hand that ball off. But let's say they come up and they have the 5th DB in there, and now they have only 6 in the box, or a lineman back, or they're going to play some type of bracketed coverage. Now I'm going to run the ball. But let's say they come out and they have one high safety, only one safety, 2 linemen, and now they have 8 in the box. Well, it gives the quarterback the ability. It's a run play call, but because he knows that they play the defense just to stop the run, then he has the pass option without having to audible, without having to change anything. It's between him, the receivers reading it correctly, and the running backs running the play and the offense running the play. Read option, which is what we had a lot of last year. Read option is there is no pass play on it. You're faking it to the running back. If they take the running back dive, quarterback pulls it, quarterback goes around the corner. The problem with Alabama last year when we ran the read option, we didn't always have the third option. And teams figured that out, especially Oklahoma. You go back and look, Oklahoma made it look like they were taking away the dive, but they really weren't. The dive was there. They were making it look like they were taking, and then they were flowing to the quarterback because we didn't have a pitch option, or now some people use the triple option as that third option. So I think that's more. I think Ty will take us back more to what we had under Bryce Young, and even before that, even some of the play action. I think Ty Simpson offense will look a lot like A.J. McCarron with a little bit of RPO, where we use the running backs in the run game, Tony Christian, but we also use play action to get the ball down the field and then mix in some RPOs. Grubb is known for more of a West Coast hybrid approach, which is about timing and rhythm throws and progression reads. So if Ty is better where we thought he was better at, then I think you're going to see that be the case. And Virgil did say, yes, that's what he was referring to. That's what I thought it was, that Ty would be able to bring that aspect, TC. And it's tough to stop a team when they make you wrong, no matter what you do. It's really hard to stop. If you come out in a pass defense and the quarterback reads it correctly and we run the ball, then you can't be right. And if you come out in a run defense and the quarterback and the wide receivers read it correctly, you just can't be right. They're gonna make you pay either way. And you're not old enough to remember it, but I played with a guy named Gary Hollingsworth. Gary Hollingsworth was one of the slowest players I have ever seen in my life. He was a quarterback. He was. He just anybody that saw him play, he was not very athletic. He didn't have a big arm, but man, his football IQ was off the chart. And we didn't call them RPOs. We call them check with me. And we would go to the line, and we'd have a color, and that color would signify what was coming next, and it would change to a run. It could be a run or a pass. He would change it. The only problem with it was when we played Auburn in 1989, their stadium was so loud that it was hard to communicate. And that's where you started seeing, years later, you saw the big signs on the sideline, and now they've even transitioned to where the offensive line don't even know the play has changed, Tony Christian. They're running a run play, but the quarterback throws the ball. And that's why if he doesn't throw it quick, timing that I was just talking about, if he doesn't throw it quick, then you get a offensive lineman downfield. So if they read the RPO and it's a pass, they have to get it out quick. And I think with the weapons Alabama has in the wide receiver room, I think the RPO definitely. And I think you'll also see Richard Young and Jam Miller playing a much bigger role. We'll come back on the other side. TC, I'd like to get your thoughts on what you think another change may be in the offensive side of the ball as well, or what you think the identity may be for this team. And then I'm going to tease up a conversation that I'll save for tomorrow regarding general managers. This is the Martin Houston Show by Box Eye Care.
Coming up on The Game with Ryan Fowler.
Coming up on the Thursday edition of The Game, powered by Tuscaloosa Toyota, we'll talk to Connor O'Gara. He's got some big Kalen DeBoer stats that you need to know. We'll talk with him from Saturday Down South. Mike Griffith from the AJC Dog Nation. We'll get an early look at those Georgia Bulldogs, and we'll talk some SEC college football with him. Rodney Orr, TiderInsider.com, and a lot more starting at 2 p.m. here on The Game with Ryan Fowler on Tide 100.9, 1230 WTBC, your home of Alabama Crimson Tide Sports.
The longest running sports program in Tuscaloosa. The Game with Ryan Fowler. Weekdays from 2 to 6 p.m. on Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Here's what's trending on the Tuscaloosa thread.
Good Thursday morning. The National Weather Service in Birmingham has issued a dense fog advisory for all of West Alabama. That's in effect until 8 o'clock this morning. Visibility down to less than a quarter mile in some spots, so slow down out there. Turn your headlights on. There have already been several traffic crashes due to the fog. Click TuscaloosaThread.com throughout the day for more West Alabama news, sports, and weather coverage. It's free. Don Herkley, Town Square Media, Tuscaloosa.
Tide 100.9 traffic.
Tuscaloosa traffic now from the Townsend Nissan Traffic Center. A very good morning to you. And Thursday morning's not starting out in a bad way. We're looking good on Lurleen Wallace, traveling both up and down. That's east and or north and southbound, that is, between 15th Street and McFarland. Also 359, not doing too shabby at all at Skyland Boulevard. As you see a little bitty delay inside the construction zone, that's 2059 eastbound between Joe Melisham and 359. With your Tuscaloosa traffic now, Tammy Thomas.
This report is sponsored by Taco Bell. Crispy chicken nuggets are back at Taco Bell. All white meat chicken, coated in tortilla chip breading and paired with unique dipping sauces. at participating Taco Bell stores for a limited time only, while supplies last. Contact store for availability.
Townsend Nissan on Skyland Boulevard has all tariff-free new Nissans in stock and ready to be discounted for immediate sales. You've got to shop Townsend Nissan for huge savings right now. Townsend Nissan Tuscaloosa.
Hi, I'm John Poole.
And I'm Krista Poole, inviting you to the most anticipated event of the season, our anniversary sale at Hudson Poole Fine Jewelers.
And this year it's even more special. We're celebrating our 40th year in business.
And now through May 23rd, you can enjoy up to 60% off select jewelry and giftware just in time for Mother's Day, graduation, or just simply because.
Thank you for allowing us to be a part of your most meaningful moments for the past 4 decades.
Celebrate with us during our 40th anniversary sale at Hudson Poole Fine Jewelers in downtown Tuscaloosa.
Hey, Green Gobbler here. So you've got a clogged drain in your bathroom. Water in the sink's overstaying its welcome. You're spitting today's toothpaste on top of yesterday's toothpaste. You hope that it go away. Yeah, clogs don't just go away. I make them go away. I'm Green Gobbler, the only clog dissolver you need. I'm bleach-free, safe for your pipes, and I work. Guaranteed or your money back. Because I never met a clog that was going to unclog itself. Green Gobbler. Let the gobbler get it.
Accidents happen, and when they do, make sure you've got the right person in your corner. If you've been in a wreck with a vehicle that has a logo on it, you've got to call Stephen Mesrano at 205-800-8000. Mesrano has won cases that have changed laws in Alabama, and Mesrano has secured large verdicts and settlements for his clients. Remember M for money and Mesrano.
If it has a logo on it, call me. 205-800-8000.
Weather brought to you by Tidwell Chiropractic, the only third-generation chiropractor with over 27 years experience in Tuscaloosa. Call Tidwell Chiropractic at 752-7503.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
A mixture of clouds and sunshine today, the chance of scattered showers and thunderstorms this afternoon and early tonight. The high today 83, tonight's low 61. Tomorrow, cloudy with occasional rain. During the day, the high 78. I'm James Spann on the ABC 3340 Weather Center on Tide 100.9. It's 62 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
Keep it locked into Tide 100.9 for more of the Martin Houston Show with Martin Houston and X's and O's Sports, Xavier Houston.
Welcome back into the Martin Houston Show with Martin and Xavier. It's now time for the Harvest Church 2-minute warning. And I want to remind you that if you're out there and you're struggling to develop leaders, your organization is struggling to reach its maximum potential, it may be because there's a leadership gap. There may be an opportunity for you to improve and empower your people to do a better job and lead at the next level. Empowerment Strategy and Solutions can help you with that. If you would just visit martinhouston.org and find out how we can help you empower better people, stronger teams, and a championship culture. martinhouston.org. Once again, if you're struggling with a leadership gap, looking to move a newly frontline leader from being a peer to a leader, then we can help you with that as well. That's martinhouston.org, Empowerment Strategy and Solutions. TC, real quick, you had mentioned in a previous break when we were talking about basketball, just shout out to Nate Oates and what he's done. Has 3 of his 5 guys that left already invited to the combine. Young blood getting invited to play in the G League. I'm not sure about Clifford Omari yet, but you know, right now it's possible that all 5 of those guys in some form, whether it's G League and or draft, could be playing in the NBA this time next year, which is crazy to think about when you think about Alabama basketball. But back to our conversation regarding Alabama football and changes. There's a lot of changes. We'll keep that conversation rolling for the next few days. But before you get out of here, one of the things that I believe has to improve is our offensive line play. Has to be different, and you had some thoughts on that.
Yes, I definitely think offensive lineman has to step up, but I definitely think Hayden Proctor, the guy everybody's talking about to project it in the first round, he's going to have to step up and prove why he should be in the first round, why people are projecting him. We know he's 6'7", he's like 360 pounds. I know he's big, he's got the body, but he's going to have to show it.
Yeah, absolutely. He definitely has the body, but he has to get a little better. And if he lives up to that first round hype, just like the Jeremy Bernard thing, if he lives up to that first round hype, I'm feeling good about Alabama. If Caden Proctor plays at a first round grade, not just a first round grade based on size, it'll be really exciting. And more thoughts from Virgil Williams in terms of the Ty Simpson, what he's going to change about the offense is he's not the prolific runner that Miro was. So defenses are not going to be as worried about him just taking off and running. And I believe it allows our O-line to know better what the play will be, even if it is an RPO. It's going to be handed off to the running back or a quick slant and not having to worry about whether or not Ty pulls it. Then our offense is already done one thing, and the play is totally different thing. And I agree. I think that the way the defenses will play Ty a lot of times, if the offense looks the way it looks, and talking about that, quarterback skill set, which we're all assuming the next QB up is going to be Ty Simpson. He's likely to use more cerebral IQ from not that Milroe wasn't an extremely smart guy, but let's be real. He had more athletic gifting, and Ty may or may not have more cerebral gifting, but he will use, I think, that piece of his game or have to and anticipate what's going to happen more than relying on his athletic ability and his legs. The emphasis means what that means it's going to be timing, quick decision-making, and throwing receivers open and not broken plays and deep passes. So I think our offense is going to be deeper on multiple levels, and we'll talk more about it. Hey, listen, keep your eyes out. More to come about Tony Christian in the trenches, TC in the trenches, whatever it ends up being called. Just know that she's going to be highlighting some of the big hog mollies. Thank you, Tony Christian. We'll catch up with you next week.
Thank you.
All right. Hey, we'll be back tomorrow to keep the conversation rolling. I'd love to hear your thoughts on exactly what's going to be different. I still have lots to talk about with the difference with Grubb and what he's going to bring. The biggest thing I tell you that I'm going to talk about is identity. What will be the identity of Alabama football? We'll talk about it on tomorrow on a TJ's Pharmacy and Wellness Free-for-All Friday. Trust in the Lord always. Lean not your own understanding. Always acknowledge him, and he will direct your path. Roll Tide, everybody.
It's a celebration.
Thank you for listening to the Martin Houston Show on your home for Alabama sports. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.